Manifestly excessive subject access requests. So, I received a query today regarding a subject access request. The inquiry states that a request has come in for access to emailed personal data. The requester has provided a list of more than 20 email addresses that they would like searched spanning the last 2-year period, referring to them by name, initials, or job title. So an initial search carried out using the criteria brought back results numbering in excess of 150,000 emails. Now obviously they don't have the manpower or the hours to dedicate scouring through all of those emails, but they don't want to reject the request as manifestly excessive. So how do they comply without having to deal with all of those emails? So the ICO has provided guidance on this very issue, and there are a number of things that you could do. A, you could write to the subject requesting that they review the parameters to reduce the number of names on their list or to amend the timeline to less than 2 years. B, you could extend the deadline by the full 2 months extra allowed by the GDPR. C, be prepared to provide the subject with a summary of emailed correspondence in some cases. Or D, consider if the request is manifestly excessive, in which case it would be completely rejected. There are certain factors that you would need to take into consideration before deciding on whether the request is manifestly excessive. These can include the nature of the information, the context of the request, and the relationship between you and the requester. Whether a refusal would cause substantive damage to the person, such as an adverse impact on their rights. Your available resources, such as the size of your team, who would be responsible to gather, download, read through, identify duplicates, and redact the data belonging to any third party. Or if the request largely repeats previous requests, or whether the information has already been provided by alternative means. When asking the subject to revise the parameters of their request, you should make them aware that you are considering manifestly excessive, which means an automatic rejection and they wouldn't get any of the data requested. They should also be advised that even if they do provide you with a revised parameter, that any or all of the previous considerations raised may still be applicable depending upon the total number of email results returned. The likelihood is that even if the number of names on the list is halved, that still accounts to nearly 80,000 emails, and you may need to decide on whether this number is actually manageable for you. If you decide to press on with the request knowing that it will take more than 3 months to complete the task, you should notify the subject as soon as possible. Perhaps you could compromise and release some of the data in batches when they are ready. In any case, a request is not always deemed excessive just because it covers a large amount of data. Different circumstances apply to different companies and their resources, so you should never have a blanket approach to rejecting all large requests.